My name is Julia Scognamillo. I want you to imagine a world in which nonprofits no longer existed. The charitable organizations we each hold dear to our hearts would no longer receive nearly the amount of donations they do now. This could be something that is near in our future if we don't pay attention to certain factors. In Chapter 1 of Nonprofit Management 101, a complete and practical guide for leaders and professionals, the author discusses trends that are most likely to affect the future state of nonprofits. In this presentation, I will discuss a few of these trends, which I found to be the most important, and then I will explain the impact that this lesson will have on my future life. One of the trends that can have an effect on the future of nonprofits is the cultural increase in our society. As minority groups start to expand and become the majority, it is more likely that they are going to be the supporters of nonprofits. It is important that nonprofits expand their resources in order to cater to the various cultures that may become involved with them. These resources can be providing forms in different languages, hiring employees that are bilingual and able to communicate with a variety of individuals, and many more. If a nonprofit fails to do this, they may be at risk of having their organization start to decline in their support and the finances that they receive. Another trend that can have an effect on the future of nonprofits is the growing need for more nonprofits to work with other organizations. As societies progress, it has become more common for nonprofits to work with other nonprofits, different government agencies, and other organizations in order to meet their goals. To quote the book, to have the greatest possible impact, nonprofits may need to step outside their organization and explore opportunities for partnership and alliance. This can be found on page 17. This shows that it is becoming increasingly important for nonprofits to expand in order to be the most successful they can be. For the older nonprofits who have been around longer, it may be harder for them to want to branch out and meet other groups to work with. However, as stated in the text, we know it is necessary for them to do so because if they cannot, they are at risk for a failing organization. There are so many other trends offered in this book, each giving an insight on the factors that have an effect on the future of nonprofit organizations. I found this to be one of the more important lessons that I learned up until this point of the class. When I am out of college and I have more time and money on my hands, I plan on participating in the nonprofit organization called Camp del Corazon. It is an organization that, with the donations from its donors, sends children with heart defects to camp on Catalina Island for a weekend. I was born with a heart defect, so I spent a lot of my youth being a camper with Camp del Corazon. I know how important it could be for kids with conditions like this to meet other people going through the same things as them in order to feel like there is some sort of normalcy in their life. Oftentimes, the old campers come back as counselors, and this is something I can see myself doing. The lessons I learned from this chapter of the text will be very beneficial to me when I go help the camp in the future. I will be able to offer an insight on the different factors that can have an effect on their nonprofit in this ever-changing society that they may not have previously known before. Hopefully, I will be able to save this camp from any possible downfalls that they might reach in the future. In this presentation, I was able to offer an insight to the most important lesson I have taken away from this class so far. I was able to offer and describe a few of the tasks mentioned in the text that are said to have an effect on nonprofit organizations. I was then able to take these tasks and apply them to my future life and how they will benefit me in my work with Camp del Corazon in the future. This presentation was not meant to frighten nonprofits with all of the things that can possibly hurt them in the future. In fact, it was intended to provide hope, a hope that they will know now what to avoid and what to focus on as they expand their horizons in the future. Thank you for listening.